We are now going to talk about nucleic acids. So this last guy that is out here, and you can see that he has more components that are a part of all the things that are in here. In your packet, this is group 5 that is on there. So go all the way to the very end, and that's the stuff that you are going to be looking for. So in these guys, we have nucleobases. We'll talk about the bases when we get to our unit when we're talking about DNA and RNA, and we get into those more specifically. The orange box is going to be your monomer, for this group of macromolecules, and then your polymer actually has kind of a funky name. We call it DNA or RNA, or I like to call the green box down there, I think should have the word nucleic acid in it. I don't think it should have DNA, RNA in there, and you'll see why here in just a second. So the whole point of nucleic acids is that we are storing and transferring information for all cell activities. Hold that thought, it's again a bigger group than just DNA and RNA. There's one more important component that is in here. Elements is finally all of them. We like to use that acronym, back it up here a little bit, CHOMP. So if you look at all of these all the way across the board, this cartoon image really does give you kind of a great idea of all of the components that goes into everything and just kind of their general structure that's there. CHOMP is the elements that are in every single one. And for the first and only time, we are going to see phosphorus as one of the main components that goes into this class of macromolecules. So all of them, CHNOP, will be involved in there. Your monomer is going to be, again, that nucleotide. Sorry, the words are close together. I know, so that can be tricky. So make sure you have nucleotide and nucleic acid separate in your brain. A nucleotide is simply one piece. So it is made of 3 separate molecules: a sugar, a phosphate, and a nitrogenous base. You need all 3 of those pieces to make a monomer for nucleic acid. This is unlike the way that carbohydrates and proteins are, and it is more similar to the way that lipid monomers are formed, where it's actually a triplicate part, or in the lipid component, it's a duplicate part that it takes to make that monomer. So a single building block is called a nucleotide, and it is made of 3 parts: sugar, phosphate, nitrogen base. We're going to get super into that DNA structure when we get to that particular unit. For now, I just need you to keep in the back of your mind that one piece of a nucleic acid is called a nucleotide, and then it is made of 3 individual components on there. The example I'm going to give you here are the 3 different nitrogenous bases. So adenine, thymine, cytosine, and guanine are all considered nitrogenous bases, and they are considered nucleotides because you need all 3 components to make them functional and usable. So again, we're going to get way, way, way into that. Just make sure that you're like, oh yeah, I know monomers are the triplicate part. There's 4 examples of them. For your polymer of a nucleic acid, we're going to call it a nucleic acid. Your examples are going to be RNA or DNA. And then the reason that I don't like that green box saying RNA or DNA is because ATP, a molecule known as adenine triphosphate, which we'll get way into later, excuse me, also fits under the nucleic acid umbrella. This is what your DNA, RNA looks like. So again, you can kind of see that nitrogenous base, pentose sugar, phosphate group. We need all 3 of those. I love this one here in the red box in the middle. That's a nucleotide. You can see this strip is called a polynucleotide. So it's many nucleotides strung together. So I really like that a little bit better, but I really love the blue, orange, green. I like the flow of that chart. I think that makes it easy for you to see. So I've left it in there. A nucleic acid is just a quick additional piece that I want you to see on nucleic acids, and something that's in there is I want to make doubly sure that you guys know that DNA makes up a chromosome, and chromosomes are made of DNA, so they are one and the same thing. Just really want to make sure that you don't think these are 2 different things. In with the DNA, we're going to get super into this. Remember, part of the structure that fits into here is another component making up your chromosome called a histone. So there is an additional little molecule that's in there. The point of it is that it packs everything really closely and tightly together. So as we continue on, as we talk more about DNA and we talk more about chromosomes and how they are shaped, please just know that there's one more molecule in here that is making everything. So a chromosome is not the end product down here underneath the polymers. It really is this DNA RNA molecule looking like this. And then big picture, this is what we're ultimately going for and what we're going to be building out of these nucleic acids. So those fit together. If you have any questions on the packet in any of the groups, let me know. You looked at the different nitrogenous bases that are in there, and it does also have you put in there one of the very last things that you should have pasted into your packet are ATP, a mono, a di, and a triphosphate. And you can kind of see that structure. And we'll get back to those when we get to that particular unit.